First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
So let's start with the Teacher of the Year.
It was a great event. They had it here in Sierra Vista at event 161 or 161. Isn't that what it is? Over there on Wilcox. And I'd never been there before. It was actually a very, very nice venue for it, but it was packed. I mean, it took us about 15 minutes just to get in the door. I mean, but Jackie Clay and her team and Ben, they did a very, very good job of putting that together, and it's well attended. This is the first one they've had that hasn't been an outdoor one because of COVID. But again, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy in the room. It was they had lunch for us. It turned out so nice, and so they did. They announced the Teacher of the Year. I had the privilege and honor to announce that winner.
And that was Erin Gilbreth from Elfrida Elementary.
Yes, and she was so excited. She cried. I mean, this is their passion. I always tell the story before I present the award is the passion our teachers have. They do an amazing job, especially the last couple of years with COVID and getting those kids through that. And that was a tough time with everything going on. But Erin, my hat's off to you. I applaud you. I mean, she talked a little bit about rural teaching in rural Cochise County, but well deserved. So congratulations, Erin Gilbreth from Elfrida Elementary School.
And we also have to give a shout out really quickly to Tombstone. Their senior who made prom king is King Keppa. I just want everybody to take a look at that. So he was one of the people there. If you go online, you watch any video, just Google King Keppa. You'll see when they announced that he was awarded that prom king sash and the crown. He was so excited. So congratulations to him and his family for doing that too.
Well, they're all personal achievements. There's our memories. These young people, the teachers, they'll never forget. I mean, it's just personal and professional achievements. So kudos to both.
Coming up on Sunday, we kick off a week for some of my favorite people in the Cochise County Sheriff's Office, detention officers.
It is. I mean, let me just say, the men and women that work in our detention, I've talked about this on this show and beyond, just do an incredible job. I mean, they work in a very tough facility. We know our jail's in bad shape. I mean, we've harped on that a lot and looking for some movement on that. But the second thing is, I mean, so they work in that venue. They work with people that are down on their luck. They know a lot of people are really, really bad people in our jail, and their job is to safeguard them. And that's not an easy task. This ain't a care center in that aspect. It is truly their job is to safeguard them, make sure they're following the rules and showing that respect. It's a tough job. So congratulations to all our detention officers that do an amazing job too. They're like teachers, man. They're community heroes.
Well, let's move into our jail update.
Well, the jail. Let me just say, I spent time in Phoenix yesterday. I've been working very close with the leadership both in the House and Senate, and Gail Griffin and Dave Gowan, very close with those two in regards to what can we do for our Cochise County Jail that we know is in disarray and it needs a rebuild. So right now they have $20 million in the state budget, which has been budgeted both on the state side and house side. It's $92 million in current times to build the new 400-bed jail here in Cochise County. So Gail's been working some magic. That's one thing about when you have a congresswoman that's been there as long as she has a lot of influence. So she's been working some magic up there. We're trying to get that numbers up there. The ultimate goal is to see if the state will come in and pay for it. That's the ultimate goal, and pay the whole $92 million. And I'm been working with the Governor Ducey, and his team to whatever the state does is can Governor Ducey come in and help backfill and pay the rest under his discretionary funds. So it's optimistic. I was very excited leaving Phoenix and the Capitol yesterday, both on the House side, Senate side, and the governor's office. I think something good's going to happen on that jail. We take that burden, that debt away from the county citizens here. And we're part of a state system, so we'll see if the state can come through. I'm just fingers and toes crossed. Let me say that.
And we are working on budgets as well right now.
We do. We presented our budget on Tuesday to the Board of Supervisors, and what we're asking for this year is a little over $500,000 increase to our budget, and that's a 5% raise. We've covered our detention officers with the existing funds that we've been able to secure, but I need the 5% for deputies, our sworn, and also our support staff. We have about 90-some deputies. Some are grant funded, obviously, but I think it's 97 total. That includes myself. And then we have how many support staff, Carol?
Oh my goodness! So we have detention. That's a separate one. You caught me off guard with all those numbers. And then our support staff. I don't know the number.
So say 30. Say 30 yes. support staff. Those are our secretaries, our evidence custodians, our business side of it. I mean. So you put all together, it's like $499,000 for a 5% raise. With inflation going on right now, and with the competitive side of law enforcement, I mean, driving into the Capitol yesterday, a big old banner there saying sign-on bonus, hiring bonus for Phoenix PD, $7,500. Just sign up, and they're in the $60,000, $70,000 just to start. Right now, we're at $47,000 for a starting deputy, $37,000 for a detention officer. So we asked for that 5%. Peggy Judd was just, Sheriff, she was very complimentary on the men and women that work at the Sheriff's Office. And so I think we're going to get some support. The county administrator and budget manager were very supportive. We worked very close with them to put these numbers together. And then spoke to Andy English afterwards and seemed very supportive also. So, again, we shall see where it goes. And there's an article in the paper today. I made a statement. Mr. Crosby, our one board member, and what upsets me about him, and as you see in the paper, my frustration was the lack of appreciation. He does not support a raise or any kind of in fact, the words to me, they need to tighten the belt. So, I mean, that's no way to reward a talented team that's been worked very hard, as you know, and you can see it on our Facebook. You can see them out there. I get so many compliments a day. I mean, from our men and women. So, yeah, my job as an advocate, as a sheriff, is public safety, but also take care of the men and women that work here. So, yeah, it was a little frustrating to hear his lack of support, again, for a second year. And so I'll continue to stand tall on that one and stand behind my men and women.
And some of the other things that you're working on with the Board of Supervisors are the Stone Garden Grant that just got approved. So that was $446,552. The mileage and the overtime was over $434,000, and then equipment over $11,000, almost $12,000. So we appreciate the fact that we were able to get that approval so that we can continue these programs that we have.
And the great thing about Stone Garden is it pays for the ERE, the employee-related expenses, like your health, your retirement. It pays for that on an upfront basis. So it's not like, hey, we're going to pay your salary, but all the benefits and you got to take care of. No, this is inclusive when it comes to the total hiring package and pay package. So it's we like Stone Garden. It's a good program. Stone Garden is a program that goes out and allows us to work interdiction for drugs. Really, that's what it is. And it says Border Patrol, if they've got a vehicle loaded up, we can help with the stop and do things like that. But it's a very good program, very popular. So I think, well, my favorite from the federal government. So, no, it's nice to get that grant approved.
And Operation Safe Streets continues in our county, and it's effective, and it's also frustrating.
It is. If you read our Facebook, Carol, Grady, thank you to both of you for posting those snapshots of what's going on out there, and thanks to the community. I know there's still questions about what happens. Folks, we work hand in hand with Arizona troopers, our police department, Service PD, Douglas PD, all the different police departments, and we work very close with CBP, Customs and Border Patrol. So if we stop a car, say it loaded up, we get to stop, it's a safe stop where they pull over, and there's, say, 6 migrants, illegal migrants in the back that have come across the border illegally. Border Patrol addresses the immigration. We do have no authority on that. Now, there was a bill passed yesterday that the governor signed into office, HB 2696. I encourage you to take a look at it. Again, HB 2696. It's very similar to SB 1070, which was the old immigration bill here in the state that got knocked down by the high courts. I'm very curious where this one's going to go. I sent this bill yesterday to Brian McIntyre, our county attorney, and Lori Zuko, the deputy, saying, take a look at this. Give us some guidance on this, because it does. It's really it starts off as a human trafficking bill for children, which 100% agree behind that, but there's also talks about smuggling for profit. So I'm curious where this is going to apply when it comes to our local enforcement. I don't have a lot of answers on it. But bottom line is, if we stop a car, if it's an immigration issue, that Border Patrol addresses that, we address any state criminal violation. I mean, whether suspended license, no driver's license, no insurance, drugs in the car, any of that stuff we address. Warrants, if there's no fictitious plates on the car, things like that, we'll tow the car. If there's a reason, if we arrest them, we'll tow the car. If not, the entirety of the stop goes back to CBP for immigration because we have no other authority. But trust me, 9 out of 10 stops, we share the authority of enforcement, and it works out really well.
And so part of keeping moving forward with this momentum that we have, you were testifying before Congress on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's the second time this month I've been invited to testify in front of U.S. Congress in regards to the border. And really, and I'll just state, it's a perspective through the lens of a local law enforcement. What are we seeing down here? What are we doing down here? What's the impact of the current policies and decisions by Washington, D.C.? How's that impacting us? I don't need to tell the viewers on the show today what we're seeing, what we're doing. It's not a good thing out there. Things got better for about a week, and then the last couple of weeks, we had just been getting hammered again. I mean, when I say hammered, talking about the surge here on our border by the smugglers. I mean, just kicked up hard. And y'all heard about the fatality up on I-10 a couple weeks ago. That pickup was here in Cochise County. That started right here in our county, and a tragic ending to that again by reckless smugglers. Really, it goes back to reckless criminal smugglers. The next day, we had another vehicle load up right here in Cochise County in the Hereford area. Vehicle got north on us. Chuka City spots the vehicle, pulls off the road there by Circle K and with Chuka City off 90. The officer from Chuka City gets up there, goes up to address the smuggler, the driver. He gets out of the car. He assaults, really seriously assaults the officer, sends him for medical treatment. The officer takes off again. DPS spots the vehicle, gets in behind it. My deputies went to help the officer on scene. The smuggler takes off again in the opposite lane on Highway 90 over 100 miles an hour. DPS is chasing it. The smuggler, just the brazen behavior of these smugglers, locks up the brakes at 100 miles an hour. The DPS officer crashes and totals out the car, and he gets away. Now, thank God they're not the smartest. He dropped his cell phone during the altercation with the Wichita City officer, so we know who he is. We're going after him. And Carol, once we get him, we're going to frame that on our Facebook. I mean, these are the people we're after. These criminals, these violent criminals that don't care about this community or all they care about is making a few bucks on the backs of illegal activity.
And also on our Facebook, you can see a story and photos about you meeting with the governor this week.
Yes, met with the governor this week, and we talked about a collective, what are we doing and what are we not doing in the state. We know that the governor, we need our governor in the state. I appreciate him. He's been very good to us. And also, and let me talk about that for a minute and say, okay, what's he doing, Sheriff? Well, we just got awarded two nights ago a grant for $4.8 million through the governor and DEMA, which is Department of Emergency Management. $3.7 million is to help our communication center. This is the maintenance, all the radios in there. $3.7 million till 2029. That's a huge cost shift from you, the citizens, to the state of Arizona. So, and that brings down our budget, just in our dispatch budget, over $500,000 a year. So, I mean, I'm thrilled about that. Chuka City got a new vehicle and some radios. Sierra Vista got $350,000, I think it was, to upgrade their system for the fire department here and also the city. We also, Fry Fire got some radios, and then the sheriff's office, grapplers. The grapplers are it's like the fishing hooks. We mount them on the front of our cars. It's what DPS has too. Well, if we got a pursuit, it actually shoots out, wraps around the actual rear axle, and brings the car to a safe conclusion. They're really, really cool. The company that makes these grapplers is out Chandler, Arizona, but they're on backlog. But we got, I think it was 20 of those, 20 in-car cameras to videotape these when it happens for obviously liability purposes and evidentiary purposes. And then we got 30 road spikes. Those are the tire deflation devices. So again, it's $4.8 million total. Again, that's right through the governor on that one, and so we thanked him on that. But we're also looking at a collective statewide marketing message on smuggle, flee, go to jail, simply put. And so we're working on that with him. We're working on going after social media sites. We've already sent a proposal up on that one. We know the venue for our young people and the criminals that are coming down here to pick up these smugglers or to pick up the illegals are coming through social media. So we're going after that. We're going after that for injunctions, working with the AG and the governor to push that. Strategic plans, collective efforts when it comes to enforcement and infrastructure needs, which goes back to our jail like I talked about. So very productive meeting yesterday. The governor's on board with us down here. There's the state and House and Senate are coming up with a resolution that's going to be heard on the floors of both houses. And then with that comes funding to support these agendas I just talked about.
So there's all of this stuff going on in Cochise County, and like you said, some of the things, just to hit on a few things, is we are still having people fly from California, rent a car, come here to do these criminal acts. And yesterday, last night, three Sierra Vista residents. So you think they haven't heard what's going on? They were in Bisbee, so I don't know if they thought that was far enough away, but 3 Sierra Vista residents were performing these transporting illegally. So we need to make sure that people understand this is not the way to go.
It's not. And people need to understand one thing is we're going to enforce the rule of law. We're not turning our heads here in Cochise County. And there's people that said, well, Sheriff, just let them go. No, that's not the way it works. I took an oath to support the laws, not be discretionary with it. And if they violate state statute, and most, like I said, 9 out of 10 do in one way or another, we will charge them. From July 1st of 2021 to March, we booked 777 criminals under state statute. These are everything from suspended license up to murder from car crashes. 777. It cost the county $1.5 million for those incarceration costs that the state, again, the governor is paying 100% of those costs. That we're not having to absorb those costs. Again, that's another benefit to us. The 777, now think about it, my jail only holds 302. So we've doubled the capacity of our jail by these operations to show that there will be consequences here in Cochise County. And I know the paper this morning says that I made a comment at the board meeting that we've arrested 777 illegals. That's not true. That's a misinterpretation. It's 777 like smuggler drivers, people that have violated the law, that have a nexus or a connection to border. So I'm very proud of that stat, but that's an impact. It's about $17,000 to $20,000 a week we're spending to keep our deputies out there to enforce and show a stance against those wanting to smuggle in our county. And that's being paid by the state too, by the way.
And to show our appreciation for all that law enforcement does, we have an event coming up, Top Cop 2022. So that's going to be Friday the 13th of May. So we'll be able to let everybody know about the nominations that we've gotten for a multitude of law enforcement agencies here in Cochise County. So we just wanted to tell everybody we do show our appreciation, and we appreciate that you guys out there listening show your appreciation.
It's a special county. It's truly a special county because we work so well together, local, state, and federal, and we have an awesome community that supports us. I look around the country, things that aren't working. Well, I wish them well, but it's working here. It truly is. And Top Cops is an annual event we put together. It's our 4th year, I believe, that we can recognize our nominees from our respective agencies, state, local, and federal, and then honor that special Top Cop that our cable group selects.
That's right. And so they already have the nominations, so hopefully they'll be able to pick one. And just showing one more appreciation, getting gas last week, there was a worker, City of Sierra Vista worker, who kindly told me, sure you heard this a million times, but you have a headlight out. That's the first time I heard it. So I don't know how long I've been driving around with a headlight out, but City of Sierra Vista, you are awesome. Thank you so much for reminding me that I need to get that fixed.
City keeping us safe. I like it. I truly do. And also at Top Cop, we're going to recognize 2 tenured chiefs here in Cochise County. Paul Mikado from Benson PD's retiring after almost 50 years. Wow. And what's unique about that, I think he had 48 years, Carol. But what's unique about that is he spent his entire tenure at Benson, City of Benson. So, Paul, we're going to wish you well here on the 13th and send you off hopefully with some embracement. And then also Albert Chavy from Bisbee PD. It will be retiring after 25 years. So we're going to recognize both our chiefs there and their leadership and their commitment to community service over the last couple of decades.
Want to remind everybody that it's fire season, so we've had some fires that have been getting a little bit crazy.
We have, and we're looking into those fires. I'll just say that anytime we have a fire, we look into them. What is the cause? Once we get a perimeter and the firefighters do their magic and get that fire knocked down, we also look at what's the origin, what happened, what started this fire. And there's a lot of talk, a lot of suspicion about our fires, especially around the Bisbee area. We have a meeting next week, Monday, to discuss that in depth. We brought in some experts to include our own arson investigator at the sheriff's office here. But folks, I'll just say it's really dry out there. But we also want you to be prepared, and that is Ready, Set, Go.
What is Ready, Set, Go?
Ready, Set, Go is a program that was developed through the Arizona Sheriff Association, along with our fire professions. When it comes to people, especially in Arizona, it's a dry state, ready is be ready at all times. If something happens, be ready to go. Set means you have all your priorities, like your personal stuff that you need to take with you, your documents, your special documents, titles, cards, whatever you see, your birth certificates, be set to go. And that means set also means when they knock on your door, it's time to go. Oh, you can't say, let's give me a couple more hours. No, it's time to go. And go means we're going. It's time to get out. And we need that compliance. It's a statewide campaign. If you drive into every respective county in Cochise or in the state of Arizona, you see billboards. You'll see the different logos, and every respective sheriff's office is in that on those billboards. It's pretty cool.
And you can sign up for AlertSense on the sheriff's page. And what kind of alerts will you get?
You can sign up for a multitude of them. So it can be fire, it could be flood, it could be there's a situation where you have to boil your water, because believe it or not, we have had that occasionally in Cochise County. So you just pick what type of alerts that you want, and you sign up for how you want to get them, whether it's email, whether it's landline, whether it's cell phone, whether it's text messaging, or all of them. And just make sure you do that. Sign up. It's critical, because we've noted again through the past month of fires that we've had that there's no fire season any longer. It's just we've got fires. It used to be a certain time of year, but it just seems like it's perpetual. So make sure you take a look at that, because people were saying, we've never heard of AlertSense. We don't know how to sign up. How come we weren't notified? Take a look, cochise.az.gov/sheriff. Notifications. Just click on the notifications and follow everything all the way through, and then you'll be set up. But it's critical that everybody understands that that's how it has to happen. Get signed up for AlertSense.
And as part of our safety message, we want to talk about cell phone usage.
Yes. If you remember, we talked quite a bit last year on cell phone usage when it had that year of warnings. The state gave people a lot of opportunity for law enforcement and the motoring public to come together and educate. We made a lot of stops and told people you can't use your cell phones. And the law is very specific. You can't maneuver a cell phone in your hands while driving a motor vehicle, very simply put. And because that's a distraction. You got to put the cell phones down. And I've even converted where I even pull over, or I got the earbuds where you put those in, and that's instead of, because you can't touch your phone. Now, law enforcement's exempt, but that doesn't mean we can't abuse it either. We're under the same safety expectations that the citizens are. So, again, you cannot maneuver a cell phone and drive a car. I stopped a car the other day, and the cell phone was right in their face while they're driving the car. So I made the stop, and the driver told me, she goes, I know. Folks, and I was coming home yesterday from Phoenix and watching the people on cell phones. It's like there's more people talking on cell phones than driving cars. That's dangerous. It's a very high risk for everybody out there. Put your cell phones down. The world, think about it, 20 years ago when we didn't have cell phones. We can get through this, but we're so addicted to have that in our hand, and I'm guilty of it at times too. I'll be the first to say it, but I always try to catch myself. I preach it, but I also want to practice it too. So it is illegal. There is a fine, and that's going to be something that you're going to see some uptick in enforcement coming up, especially next month.
And because click it or ticket. Yes. And just a stat. The average time you touch your cell phone during a day, just an 8-hour day, 79 times. Can you imagine? 79 times in an 8-hour period.
And that's where the addiction comes from. We're so comfortable having that cell phone in our hand. But I got to give you an exception on that, Grady. Yesterday when I was coming back and I was looking at all this, and I stop them. Don't get me wrong. I'll stop you. But here I look over to see if I see this person with something in their hand. They're eating a bowl of cereal. Driving down I-10, eating a bowl of cereal. They didn't even see me because the Lucky Charms were more important than the highway and the motoring public. But folks, we got to get back to driving attentively. We got to drive the road. We truly do, and got to keep those hands on the steering wheel. But a bowl of cereal, wow.
And there are a few exceptions where you can have your cell phone out while you're behind the wheel, and that's when you're stopped at a stop sign or if you're calling in an emergency.
That is correct.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Click It or Ticket one more time. That's an event that's coming up in next month.
It is, and we'll be out in force. This is through the Governor's Office of Highway Safety that gives us funding to go out and address Click It or Ticket. Click It or Ticket is those that don't wear a seatbelt. But we're also looking, Click It or Ticket is a secondary offense, but we look for primary violations like cell phone use or failure stop at stop signs, whatever it may be, and then we address the Click It or Ticket. Folks, wear a seatbelt. And I know there's exceptional stories. Well, if I would have had a seatbelt on, I would have died. That is so small percentage. Wear a seatbelt. It'll save your life, I promise you.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming in and talking to us today.
Thank you, Grady. Thank you, Carol. Everybody have a safe week. See you next week.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have All About Animals Celebrator is going to be Arlene Garcia from the City of Sierra Vista, Animal Care and Control.
It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch Now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your Sheriff's Office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest, which is Arlene Garcia from Sierra Vista Animal Care and Control. Good morning.
Good morning.
So tomorrow is the big event. We've been talking about it for weeks, and it's finally here.
Yes, I am super excited. Of course, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to do our Celebrating Animals event, but this year it's here. It'll be this Saturday, April 30th, starting at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And for those of you that haven't been to one of these events, it's where as many animal welfare organizations in the county that are able to participate come together, and we just celebrate, talk about animals, educate about animals, do demonstrations regarding animals. The Kennel Club will be there doing their rally. The Bee Troop will be there, and I actually have one of our guests today is Commander John Walter from Bee Troop, and he'll be talking a little bit about what they're going to be doing there. But the Border Animal Rescue will be there. Rescue Adoption Volunteers will have animals available for adoption. The Sierra Vista Animal Shelter, of course, is going to have animals available for adoption. Hearts of Gold is going to have animals available for adoption. Horse and Around is going to have their wagon, the horse-drawn wagon, and for a donation, you can get a ride on their wagon. I always have to think about how to say that, wagon wides. But so they're going to have their wagon rides available there on that day. The Double G Alpaca people will be there with their alpacas. 4-H group, the FFA, petting zoo, food trucks. There's a lot going on.
Reptiles,
the Huachuca Area Herpetological Association is going to be there with their reptiles. The snake guy is going to be there with a couple of his snakes. He's a very interesting person with a lot to teach to the community. He's a good resource. Dog trainers, vet clinics, New Frontier is going to be out there. Dr. Jackson's Veterinary Services is going to be out there as well. So you'll get to meet all these people, learn about what they do, get to find other resources, and have fun.
It sounds like it's going to be a great event, and this is tomorrow at Veterans Memorial Park?
Tomorrow, Veterans Memorial Park from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I love this event because it just shows how together we are in this community when it comes right down to animals and many other things.
And it's free and open to the public.
Yeah, free to the public. Absolutely. Just a great day to bring the kids out. See, if you're thinking about adopting a dog, I know that Hearts of Gold is going to have some puppies available for adoption and all the critters that we're going to have available for adoption as well.
Is there going to be food available?
Oh, yes. Some of the food trucks that are going to be there, the Icy Queen's going to be there, Big Woody's is going to be there, Gunny's Barbecue. I mean, we have so much going on. I'm just super excited, and I can't wait.
All right, well, introduce us to one of the friends you brought with you today.
Well, one of the things that I'd like for the community to know is that us at the Sierra Vista Animal Care and Control, we handle animals that are within city limits of Sierra Vista, and outside city limits of Sierra Vista, it's handled by Cochise County Sheriff's Office Animal Care and Control, and we actually have a really great relationship together. We help each other out. There's no butting heads are battling. We are all in it for the same thing. And that's kind of one of the things that this event is all about, is us coming together. So today we have one of the Cochise County Animal Care and Control Officers, April Callahan.
Hi, good morning. Arlene, thank you for the invite to come and talk about your awesome event and encourage everybody to come and see the amazing things that are going to be happening throughout the day tomorrow.
So what will you be doing tomorrow at the event, April?
We will have a table. It's going to have informational pamphlets. We're going to have some knickknacks to hand out to the kids, water bottle leashes. And I think Arlene's putting us to work at the event doing raffle tickets.
Okay.
Of course, why not?
So kind of give us an overview of what you do for the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
I am an animal control officer for the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
And so you guys are like all over the county? Do you have zones? How does that work?
There is 5 of us. We do have individual zones that are divvied up between the 5 of us that we handle.
Well, we appreciate what you do for the Cochise County Sheriff's Office and our community. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
And who else did you bring? Or did you have more to say about that?
I was just going to say, I mean, think about it. There's 5 of them to cover the whole Cochise County area. There are 4 of us to cover Sierra Vista, the city limits of Sierra Vista. So think about how the immense amount of work that they do. Just 5 of them to cover the entire county. That's a lot of ground. And they do a lot of work, and their work is amazing. And I really appreciate everything they do. And I'm so excited to have them be a part of animal welfare and celebrating animals. But I'm super excited about watching what B Troop has to offer. And so we have here today B Troop Commander John Walter, right?
John Walton, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fantastic.
Yeah, close enough.
Got to make sure I had the name correct. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, appreciate Arlene. Thanks for having us on. So, yeah, B Troop, just a little bit about what we do is we represent the Army Cavalry traditions and history, specifically for the time period of 1886, late Indian War era. And so we do a number of events, primarily on base, but off base in different areas as well. Color guards, parades. From time to time, we'll do. We have competitions that we'll go to. We actually have a big. It's the National Cavalry Competition later in September that we're actually gearing up for now. But we do all sorts of different events. And when Arlene reached out and said, "Hey, we would love to have you here," we wanted to jump on it right away. It sounded like a lot of fun.
And you guys are assigned on Fort Huachuca.
We are, yes.
Okay, so kind of give us an overview of what you do, because I know it has to do with horses, but kind of give us an overview of what you're going to be doing at tomorrow's event.
Okay, sure. So in the morning, we've been asked to do the opening color guard ceremony. So we'll ride out, do a salute to the colors, and then afterwards we're going to have our little corner and kind of set up a makeshift arena, if you will, and we're going to be practicing for our upcoming tournament. So we'll be doing saber and then jumping type stuff, and people are welcome to come by, watch us, feed the horses. Really, yeah, just hang out and see what we do.
So Celebrating Animals is a great title for this because it sounds like you guys are celebrating animals.
That's right. And if I understand it correctly, there is a nonprofit organization that helps B Troop with the veterinary expenses. And I believe they're going to have someone there to talk about that and maybe accept donations.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the Fort Huachuca Cavalry Association. So B Troop itself is an active military unit, right? So we have a budget from the base itself. However, we have the Cav Association to assist with some miscellaneous and things that aren't directly covered by the budget. So, for instance, when we have horses that are medically retired or after X amount of time, the Cav Association will be kind of the middle party to go and find places to retire the horse at and so forth. So that's just one example. There's a couple others, but yeah, the Cav Association just kind of supplements what we already get from base.
Mm-hmm. And it's all about animal care. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's why I'm really excited for the B Troop to be out there. This will be the first year of our Celebrating Animals event that the B Troop will be participating. I can't wait to see what they have to offer. And from what I understand, they're going to be wearing the old-fashioned type of uniforms.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. So
authentic.
It's going to be great for pictures as well. So bring out your family to come meet April and meet John and see the horses and all the animals at Celebrating Animals event tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Well, we thank you for coming coming and talking to us today about the event.
Well, thanks for having us.
It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County. We have Adam Curtis. Again, I say this, the guru of all things Sierra Vista. So thanks for coming in today and talking to us.
Absolutely. It's great to be here. I like that title, so I'll just roll with it.
Okay.
So.
It works for me. Works for me.
Westfest 2022 is tomorrow.
That's right. So folks probably are familiar with our West End Fair. This is kind of a reimagining of that event that's celebrating the completion of our streetscape improvements along Fry Boulevard. So I'm sure people have noticed the improvements by now, and hopefully you've kind of driven through that area since the construction has ended. It's looking really, really, really nice. But this is a great opportunity to come out while the street is closed and enjoy kind of a family-friendly street fair environment from 3 to 6 p.m. on Saturday. And then from 6 to 9 p.m. there'll be live music by No Alibis. That'll be at a stage in front of the Landmark Plaza area, and there'll be a street dance. And there's kind of extended outdoor seating and a couple of the businesses there, Landmark Cafe, and I know Hop and Grapes filed those requests with us. And a lot of the businesses are doing specials, so you can go check out the restaurants and other businesses in that area. There's also kind of a West End Business Expo that's part of that. So we've invited businesses that are in the West End, and particularly those not located along that strip of Fry, to come out, set up a booth, and kind of share what they're all about as well. So it's a great chance to kind of rediscover the businesses in the West End, in addition to kind of checking out all the improvements that we've gotten done. If people want to see kind of a moment of history, right after 3 p.m., probably around 3:15 in front of Landmark Plaza, we'll do a ribbon cutting celebrating the completion of this phase of the project. So we're really excited about all this. We hope everyone comes out. There'll be stuff like street magicians, kids games, our librarians are doing story time, other fun activities from 3 to 6, and then come out for a little bit of fun with the street dance from 6 to 9.
And this is the completion of the first phase, so what's the next phase?
Yeah, so there's a lot of work that's been going on in the West End for longer than this project. This is kind of the culmination of a lot of input, but this was a major moment in history for the West End, honestly. We're trying to facilitate a more pedestrian-friendly downtown environment and attract kind of businesses and entertainment and stuff that will kind of really make that come to life. That'll take a lot of time, so it's going to take 5 to 10 years to really see the magic happen out there. But we have more plans. So the next phase will be kind of taking the streetscape that we have along Fry between Garden and Carmichael Avenue and extending it up North Garden Avenue. So we're currently in the design phase for that and expect to be in construction next year. That'll be really exciting. And Tombstone Brew Pub is under construction up there right now. So that's going to be really nice when that's complete. That's one of those kind of entertainment kind of hangout kind of businesses that would love to see in that area. And then we are also looking at extending it down east from Fry after that. So there are subsequent phases, and we're also looking at plans for the property at Fry and Fab Avenue. It could include a public park. It could include a component private development, but it'll definitely have some added parking, which is needed for that area to kind of make all this work. So there's a lot of work that will be done in the coming years as well, but things look a lot different already, and we're really excited by the feedback we've gotten. We've seen a little more interest in that area, and we really hope the public comes out to kind of celebrate that with us.
And you can keep track of all of the stuff that happens on the city, whether it be the event tomorrow or the future phases, by following you guys on social media. How can they do that?
Yeah, so follow City of Sierra Vista on Facebook, also on Twitter and Instagram. Also check out our website, sierravistaaz.gov. We'll post updates there. We have a webpage dedicated to this project, so as we move into the next phases, we'll update that with news about that as well. We also have a link to our Engage platform, Engage Sierra Vista, so as we have public input opportunities, we'll be posting them there. So there's all kinds of ways to kind of keep up to date with what we're doing, just Facebook, Instagram, website, all that kind of stuff.
We'll invite everybody out to the event tomorrow one more time.
Sounds good. And go to Celebrating Animals first. That's in Veterans Memorial Park. I know you guys heard about that earlier from, I think, 9 to 3 p.m. And then 3 to 9 is Westfest in the West End. Fry Boulevard will actually be closed from 9:30 to a little after 9 p.m. that day in the West End between Carmichael and North Avenue. But come on out, grab a parking spot, hit the street, and come enjoy an awesome street fair with us.
Well, thank you for talking to us today, Adam, from the City of Sierra Vista.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Scott Borgstad from the City of Sierra Vista, and we're going to start talking about their community engagement event coming up next week.
First Watch on KWCD Country, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Sir Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest, Officer Borkstadt with the Sierra Vista Police Department.
Good morning, Grady. How are you?
Good. It's time to talk about your Connect event coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah, the Sierra Vista Community Connect event coming up next Tuesday, May 3rd, at the Ethel Berger Center, located at 2950 East Tacoma Street. This will be the third month that we've done this, and it's really become very successful. The idea behind it is to bring a whole bunch of different service providers into one location, so people that need help can come to one location and then talk to those service providers and then get the help that they need. It's really been amazing. In the first 2 months, we've had people get out of homelessness and get into housing, which is amazing. People connecting with things like legal aid, domestic violence, and we're also going to have folks representing or out there to help veterans. Today we brought in Melanie, and she is with the Cochise Serving Veterans Organization, and they basically, help out veterans in any way that they can. Melanie, tell us a little bit about it.
Good morning. Thank you. So I'm with Cochise Serving Veterans. We established back in 2013. We're based here in Cochise County, and really our mission is to help all veterans that are in need and partner with other organizations here within Cochise County to provide rent assistance, car assistance, utility assistance, any need a veteran might need. We're there to help them with.
And how can they get a hold of you to take advantage of your services?
So we do have a Facebook page, so they can reach out to us on there, and that also has our email addresses and our phone numbers.
So you've given us a list of some of the things that you kind of do for veterans. Kind of expound on that with maybe giving us a few anecdotes or stories about how people that you have helped.
So at the first Cochise Connect event, we did have one veteran that showed up. She was 2 days away from being homeless, being put out on the street. We came together with her. We moved her within 2 days into a new place.
Wow. And see, that's what it's all about, and especially since it's a veteran, and in this community especially has a soft spot for veterans. So the services that you provide, everybody would love to get behind that. Is there a way that the community can help you guys out? Do you need donations? Do you take money?
We are always looking for donations. Really, the biggest thing is we need volunteers.
Okay.
We need people willing to come out and do yard work on weekends, help veterans move, stuff like that. And if anyone's looking to volunteer, just reach out to us on Facebook. We would absolutely appreciate that, and so would the veterans.
And what will your booth look like at the event? What services will you be trying to offer?
Everything that we can. Any veteran that needs a service, they can come up, let us know what they need. If it's not something that Cochise Serving Veterans can provide, we partner with multiple agencies and organizations within Cochise County, so they will absolutely get the help they need.
What you do for this community is amazing. And Scott, you can tell that this is just one of the services that will be provided.
Oh, absolutely. And Melanie's right. If it's a service that they don't directly do, the great thing about this Cochise Community Connect event is the way that all of these service agencies have networked together. Which was one of the positive things that we've seen come out of it too. They network together, and if they can't help out, they know people that can. So yeah, come on out to the event. It's going to be May 3rd. If you need help or know somebody that needs help, come out May 3rd, Ethel Berger Center, 2950 East Tacoma Street. The event goes from 11 till 3 p.m. We're going to be serving lunch there. We're also be giving Better Bucks away, which Cochise Serving Veterans is now one of the service providers listed on Better Bucks. So if you need help or know somebody, let them know. Come on out, because this thing is working and it's been very successful.
And remind everybody what Better Bucks is.
Oh, Better Bucks, it's a program that we started where we give out these voucher booklets that have $1 vouchers to them, and folks can take and use them to purchase living essentials, clothes, food, clothing. They can't buy alcohol, they can't buy cigarettes or tobacco products, but it's something that people can go and use, and people like giving them because they know that the vouchers are being used for something positive.
And where can they get them?
Well, they can get them at the Sierra Vista PD, the library, and City Hall right now. Like I said, we've got several service providers listed on there, from housing, veterans assistance, domestic violence, substance abuse. It's really been a great program.
We'll invite everybody out to your event again on Tuesday.
Sure. It's May 3rd from 11 to 3 p.m. at the Ethel Berger Center, located at 2950 East Tacoma Street in Sierra Vista.
Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you.
It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.